First up is The Exorcist, a groundbreaking horror film released in 1973, directed by William Friedkin. This film chillingly portrays the story of a young girl named Regan, portrayed by Linda Blair, who begins to exhibit increasingly bizarre and frightening behaviors. As her situation becomes more dire, her mother, played by Ellen Burstyn, turns to two priests for help in a desperate bid to save her daughter. The movie is renowned for its profoundly disturbing possession scenes, particularly those showing Regan's unnatural body contortions and the notorious head-spinning sequence, which remain some of the most iconic moments in horror cinema. These scenes not only terrified audiences, but also left many with sleepless nights, highlighting the film's deep impact. The Exorcist set a new standard for horror films with its intense visual and auditory experiences, and it sparked widespread conversations about the nature of good versus evil. It's a film that pushes the boundaries of the horror genre, making viewers confront their deepest fears. If you've never seen it, I encourage you to watch it and share your thoughts in the comments. We'll be eagerly awaiting to hear about your experience and discuss this cinematic masterpiece further.
The end.
Coming in at number 2 is Hereditary, a film that has quickly cemented itself as a modern horror classic since its release in 2018. Directed by Ari Aster, the movie intricately weaves the grim tale of the Graham family, who find themselves caught in a horrifying spiral of dark revelations following the death of their secretive grandmother. Toni Collette's performance is a cornerstone of the film, capturing the profound horror and despair of a mother faced with unspeakable horrors and a series of tragic losses. Her portrayal is both compelling and deeply emotional, bringing an intense realism to the film that resonates with viewers. Hereditary is often described as a disturbing descent into darkness, marked by its ability to instill a deep sense of dread that lingers long after the credits roll. The film's meticulous attention to atmospheric tension and shocking imagery leaves a lasting impact, making even the bravest viewer think twice about watching it at night. It's not just a film, it's an experience that challenges your comfort and leaves you grappling with its haunting themes and visuals. For those daring enough, watching Hereditary promises a profoundly unsettling journey into the depths of psychological horror. However, be warned, it might just rob you of a peaceful night's sleep. The Shining, directed by the legendary Stanley Kubrick and starring Jack Nicholson, is a towering pillar of the pantheon of horror cinema. Released in 1980, the film is set against the backdrop of the isolated Overlook Hotel, where Jack Torrance and his family are engulfed by a slow-building nightmare of ghostly apparitions and a pervasive, sinister presence. The psychological unraveling of Jack, portrayed with intense fervor by Nicholson, is at the heart of the film's terror. The movie is renowned for its iconic moments that have etched themselves into the fabric of horror culture. The eerie twins in the corridor, the unnerving river of blood flowing from the elevator, and the intense "Here's Johnny" scene through the splintered door are moments that have transcended the film itself to become staples of horror imagery. Each scene is meticulously crafted with Kubrick's signature attention to detail and a haunting score that amplifies the chilling atmosphere. Critics and audiences alike laud The Shining for its oppressive atmosphere and Nicholson's captivating, unsettling performance, which together create a palpable sense of dread. It's a film that not only entertains, but also invades the psyche of its viewers, leaving a lasting impact that continues to inspire fear. For those who have watched The Shining, many describe the experience as a journey into the depths of horror, where each scene meticulously escalates the sense of impending doom. The film's ability to maintain a tight grip on the viewer's attention, coupled with its psychological depth, make it a masterpiece that is terrifying as it is artistically profound. If you haven't seen it yet, prepare yourself for a masterclass in suspense and psychological horror. And for those who have, sharing your experiences can be a fascinating glimpse into the different ways this iconic film continues to resonate and terrify generations of viewers. The Conjuring, directed by James Wan and released in 2013, has become a cornerstone of modern horror cinema. The film stars Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, as phenomenal investigators Lorraine and Ed Warren, who are called upon to assist the Perrin family. The family's farmhouse is plagued by a menacing, dark presence that terrifies them with increasingly malevolent encounters. The haunting is based on true events, which layers the film with an added dimension of reality that heightens the terror. One of the most memorable and chilling aspects of The Conjuring is the hide and clap game, a seemingly innocent play turned into a nightmarish experience by the ghostly entities in the film. This particular scene brilliantly captures the essence of fear, turning a simple game into a source of profound dread, making viewers think twice about any fun in the dark. The film is widely acclaimed not just for its compelling storyline and strong performances, but also for its masterful use of traditional scare techniques. James Wan expertly crafts an atmosphere of relentless tension, utilizing silence, darkness, and sudden scares to keep the audience on the edge of their seats throughout the movie. This approach pays homage to classic horror films while also delivering a fresh, visceral experience. The Conjuring not only succeeded in scaring audiences, but also sparked a franchise that explores more of the Warrens' paranormal investigations, each story adding to the lore and the depth of the series. The film's ability to blend real-life accounts with traditional horror elements has made it a beloved addition to the horror genre, celebrated for its ability to maintain suspense and fear from start to finish. If you're a fan of horror films that combine psychological depth with supernatural scares, The Conjuring is a must-watch. In fifth place is Insidious, another masterful creation by director James Wan that has left a significant mark on the horror genre. Released in 2010, the film stars Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne as parents plunged into a nightmare when their son falls into a comatose state that serves as a conduit to a spectral realm known as the Further. This eerie dimension is not just a backdrop, but a central element of the horror, as it is filled with spirits vying to enter the physical world. The movie introduces a novel form of terror, focusing on a child who, while comatose, becomes a bridge between the living and the spectral entities eager to cross over. This premise taps into primal fears of helplessness and the unknown, making Insidious a particularly unnerving experience. The portrayal of the Further, a dark, twisted version of our world, is creatively chilling, effectively transforming familiar settings into scenes of spectral dread. One of the most unforgettable aspects of Insidious is the red-faced demon, a character whose startling appearance has become iconic in modern horror. This demon, with its piercing gaze and sinister smile, represents a visual high point of the film, embodying pure malevolence. Many viewers confess that the image of this demon haunts them long after the movie ends, lurking in the shadows of their minds during the vulnerable hours of the night. James Wan's skillful use of atmosphere, jump scares, and a haunting score amplify the film's impact, making Insidious a standout in supernatural horror. It's a film that pushes the boundaries of fear, exploring themes of possession, the afterlife, and the vulnerability of the human spirit. For those daring enough to watch it, be warned. The eerie and unsettling imagery of Insidious may just haunt you for nights to come. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Something's here. I feel it breathing on me.
Number 6 on our list is Paranormal Activity, a film that reinvented the horror genre with its innovative use of the found footage style. Directed by Oren Peli and released in 2007, this film captures the escalating supernatural disturbances experienced by a couple, Katie and Micah, in their seemingly ordinary home. The genius of Paranormal Activity lies in its simplicity and its ability to transform mundane domestic scenes into sources of immense dread. The film's horror unfolds through subtle yet increasingly unsettling occurrences: shadows flickering across the camera, doors moving slightly, and the ominous, tension-filled scenes that pave the way for sudden frights. These elements are masterfully orchestrated to maximize suspense and create a visceral viewing experience. By focusing on everyday settings and minimalistic effects, Paranormal Activity leverages the viewer's imagination to amplify fear, making the anticipation of what might happen next almost as terrifying as the events themselves. Audiences worldwide have reported a heightened awareness of their own environments after watching the film, with many confessing to jumping at the slightest sounds or movements in their homes. This speaks to the film's profound impact and its success in tapping into the universal fears. The fear of the unseen and the fear that one's safe space might not be as secure as believed. Paranormal Activity not only became a massive box office success, but also spawned a franchise and inspired numerous other films in the found footage subgenre. It stands as a testament to the power of psychological horror and the effectiveness of less is more storytelling in filmmaking. For those brave enough to watch it, be prepared for a psychological journey that might just leave you second-guessing every creak and whisper in your house. It Follows, directed by David Robert Mitchell and released in 2014, is a standout horror film that introduces a unique and relentless form of terror. The premise is chillingly simple. After a seemingly innocent sexual encounter, the protagonist, played by Micah Monroe, finds herself cursed to be followed by a slow-moving, shape-shifting entity that only she can see. This entity, which can take the form of any person, relentlessly pursues its target until passed on to another through a similar encounter, or until it catches and kills its current target. The film brilliantly taps into the primal fear of being stalked. The concept of being perpetually followed by something that is often just out of sight plays on the universal fear of the unknown and unseen. The suspense is masterfully built through the film's atmospheric tension and haunting score, which amplify the sense of dread and foreboding. The entity's slow but steady pace contributes to the film's intense anxiety, making the horror not just about the shocks and scares, but the anticipation of them. What sets It Follows apart is not just its original monster mythos, but how it exposes deeper themes of sexuality, trust, and the inevitability of death. The curse passed through sexual encounters metaphorically parallels real-world fears surrounding intimacy and vulnerability. This layer of depth adds to the film's unsettling nature, making it resonate on both a psychological and emotional level. The relentless pursuit scenes in It Follows are particularly anxiety-inducing, with the constant paranoia of a follower creating a pervasive sense of terror. The idea that something could always be behind you, silently advancing, taps into a deeply ingrained instinctual fear. This innovative approach has made It Follows a cult favorite and a significant influence in modern horror cinema, praised for its ability to evoke palpable fear and anxiety through its fresh take on the genre. A Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by the legendary Wes Craven and released in 1984, stands as a seminal work in the horror genre, introducing the world to one of the most iconic villains, Freddy Krueger. Played with chilling menace by Robert Englund, Freddy is a disfigured killer who haunts the dreams of teenagers, blurring the lines between the dream world and reality. His ability to prey on his victims while they are most vulnerable in their sleep creates a unique and terrifying premise. The film taps into a primal fear, the fear of sleep, a state where we are most defenseless. The idea that danger could lurk in dreams, a place of supposed refuge, struck a profound chord with audiences and has resonated through the decades. Freddy Krueger, with his grotesque appearance and bloody glove, became an instant horror icon, embodying the very essence of fear and nightmares. His character is not just a killer, he is the manifestation of sleep-induced vulnerability that turns the act of sleeping into a potential death trap. The innovative concept of A Nightmare on Elm Street is masterfully executed through its blend of surreal horror and visceral scares. The intermingling of dreams and reality challenges the viewer's perception, making the film a disorientating and unnerving experience. The special effects, particularly for the dream sequences, contribute to an atmosphere that is both dreamlike and nightmarish. The impact of A Nightmare on Elm Street on popular culture and the horror genre is immense, inspiring a series of sequels and a franchise that solidified Freddy Krueger as a central figure in horror lore. The film was not only a critical and commercial success, but also a cultural phenomenon that has inspired countless other media. If you've ever watched A Nightmare on Elm Street, sharing your experience can be fascinating. How did you react to the blurring lines between dreams and reality? Did Freddy Krueger haunt your nightmares? Engage in the comments below and let us know how this classic horror film affected you. Returning to The Ring delves into the chilling narrative directed by Gore Verbinski. and featuring Naomi Watts. The movie centers around a cursed videotape that spells doom for anyone who views it, promising their demise exactly 7 days later. The film masterfully employs a masterful buildup of crescendos into an unforgettable climax, solidifying its status as a cult classic in the horror genre. Its potency lies in its ability to evoke palpable fear, with many viewers reporting a newfound awareness of their own television sets after watching the film. This enduring impact is further amplified by the iconic scene where the ghostly girl, Samara, emerges from a TV screen, a visual that has become deeply ingrained in popular culture. The Ring not only scares, but also leaves a lasting impression on its audience, making them question the safety of their everyday surroundings. Closing our list, Sinister, directed by Scott Dickerson and starring Ethan Hawke, introduces us to a terrifying different kind of horror. Released in 2012, it follows the story of a true crime writer who discovers a set of films that lead him to an ancient pagan deity who preys on families. The meta-horror element of a film within a film, where watching the footage spells doom, creates a layered terror that plays on the safety of one's own home. As each home movie within the film unfolds, the audience is sucked deeper into a sense of inescapable dread, making Sinister a disturbing exploration of fate and the power of recorded media. The relentless tension and the grim atmosphere it conjures make it a fitting end to our horror journey, challenging viewers to reconsider the safety of their own reality. These films are landmarks in horror cinema, each offering a unique twist on fear and leaving a lasting imprint on their audience. Now, I turn to you. Viewers, which of these films chilled you to the bone the most? Are there any other horror classics or modern scares you would add to this terrifying list? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications. Thanks for watching, and remember, some scares are forever. It might be wise to keep the lights on tonight, and perhaps buffer these horrors with a comedy before bed. Until next time.